Hey guys, it's Malekith. I'm going to do a quick video on Crusader Kings 2. It comes out on Tuesday, so this is the demo at the moment. The limitations of that are that you only get 20 years of play on it as opposed to up to the end time zone, which is a lot longer. So let's get this started. Normally in this you'd be able to pick from masses of people, so you'd have counts, which is the lowest level you can play as, so you'd be in charge of one single region each usually, maybe two. And you've got dukes, which are the next one up. They generally have a few counts under them as vassals. So Toledo here, you'd end up with 5 regions. Above them you have kings, so England, France. Down here you've got Spain split into its component territories with some Muslim kingdoms below it. As far as I'm aware, you can only play as Christian kingdoms, not so much as the Muslims. And above that, which I don't believe you can play as to start with, are emperors. So you'd have the Holy Roman Empire in here and the Byzantine Empire down here. So for this one, I'm going to start as a duke. You could play as the King of Poland, but I'd prefer to start a bit lower than that, just so there's less things to worry about to start with. So we'll start with the Duchess, as she's down here in a relatively safe region. Right, so it's real time, kind of like Hearts of Iron, so at the moment we're paused. You can see my territories by, I know this is one of mine. If you select diplomatic relations, these are all the other territories that I'm in charge of. These two are vassals, so they're not directly in my control, but people that work for me. Corsica as well, though. So the regions surrounding it are, if we switch to, where was it? Independent realms. So you can see the colour schemes for the Holy Roman Empire. So all of these surrounding places are Holy Roman Empire. So let's have a look at my character. So she's unmarried, she's female, and she has absolutely no heirs at all. So one of the first things I'm going to have to sort out is somebody to pass this on to, because you don't play as a country, or if in this really, it's a dynasty, so it's a family line. So if I don't have any family to pass on to when my character dies, that's game over for me. So let's find her someone to marry. See, we've got a huge list of people. Some are 7-year-old boys, which is a bit strange, but never mind. The little blue flag here indicates you can get an alliance out of them. And, as you can see, these are scattered all around the map, so I'm going to do it a slightly different way by having a look around. So let's have a look at this. So as you can see, this guy, he's not married. He's in territory neighbouring mine. If I can get hold of that through marriage, that'd be helpful. So let's do some diplomacy with him. Now, because it's a female character, you want a matrilineal marriage. This means that the descendancy goes down through the female part of the family as opposed to the standard male one, which would happen in a standard marriage. So let's try setting it up with him. And he would unfortunately say no, because basically he's too high in the succession to actually gain it himself, and he's a greedy bugger, wants it himself. However, he does have an heir, which is currently his Chancellor, because he has no kids himself. So let's see if we can convince him. So that way, when the original guy dies, this guy inherits, and because he's married to us, we therefore inherit ourselves and would pass it on to our own kids. So he's happy with that. So we'll send that off. That won't go through straight away because we're still paused. So pick an ambition. So if we say get married, when we complete that, which we will hopefully do shortly, we gain 10 piety. So that's up here. That's what the church thinks of you, basically. And you've got prestige as well. This is money. Basically all of these stats go together to give you an overall score when your current ruler dies. And the idea is to get this score as high as you can over the lifetime of your family. So now we've got that picked. What else do we have up here? So it's telling us the ruler's unmarried, which we're sorting out. I can create a title, but at the moment I can't afford it, as you need 198 gold, and I have 77, so we can ignore that one for now. titles lost in succession. So basically I lose all my land at the moment as I have nobody to give it to, so it would all revert back to the ruler of the Roman Empire, and there's no heir to my dynasty. Right, so let's get this starting. Speed it up a bit. So there we go, I've got married, so I can either opt to get the gold or pay for it myself and gain prestige through showing basically that I'm rich. But I think at the moment I will take the gold so I can improve my lands in the surrounding area. And that's basically the leader of this city telling us that yeah, it's alright to marry his one of his people. So there you go, fulfilled the ambition to get married. So let's pick another one. So as well as ambitions like becoming sort of everyone having a high opinion of you, you've also got plots so you can kill various people. So this one would be to try and kill your husband. And these are generally influential people, normally your lord and the king and people like that. But we'll keep it simple and try and get one we can actually achieve. And these here are things you can host. So between certain times of the year you can hold a feast or a summer fair, and it starts a chain of quests, or not quests, sort of events. So just carry on with this. So you can see we've got a husband now. Some heretical people in some part of the empire, but it's nowhere near me, so I'm not going to worry about it. One thing I am going to do, however, is upgrade my castle. So this will give me a larger levy, which is your army that you can call up, more tax income, and a bigger fort, which I believe helps you when you come to get sieged. And certain improvements can only be built once your fort's at a certain size. And I think I'll improve this one as well while I'm at it. Give them a fort. So for some reason my steward's disappeared. Does it say why? Oh, there we go. He's died, age 37. So what we do now is we go into my council. We can pick a new steward. So you want to sort by steward, sort of score. The higher this is the better, but you still want to look at their traits. So he hasn't really got much in there that's... so like this guy's deceitful. You don't really want people backstabbing you, craven, you know, so this guy's just bad, but this guy seems fairly good, so put him in there. While I'm in here I can appoint these guys to do stuff. So a good one's always your spy master. So you can uncover plots in your home counties. That stops people trying to assassinate you, hopefully. Unless he's the one trying to do it, which is never a good thing, because he's not going to tell you about it if he's the one doing it. So always try and keep him happy. We'll put the steward in there to try and get some more taxes. We're not at war at the moment, so I'll put our marshal in there to improve on our military technology. I've not really worked out the technology yet, but it seems that each region has its own technological advances which sort of spread through your empire. But I'll try and work that out at a later date. Right, who else do we have? Chancellor. So I'm going to use him to fabricate claims on this county here, which I don't own, but he basically makes up a load of documents that say such and such many years ago we owned this, we want it back, and then you can declare war on them without a reason for declaring war. You can't actually do it, so that just gives me the opportunity to do that in the future. So if you look in the bottom right, you'll see there's a 10.6% chance each year that he'll manage to successfully do that. And we'll put the bishop improving religious relations with the Pope. If you were down in the Muslim territories over here somewhere, you'd probably want to use him to try and convert some of the Muslim provinces to Christianity, but as we're nowhere near those, I won't worry about it. Okay. So let's see what's happened over here. So this is now a new region. So basically, I believe it's Switzerland has declared independence from the Holy Roman Empire and these two states. So you'll probably see the emperor kick up a huge army, drawing from all its vassals, and go kick them in the face shortly and try and get that back. Yeah, see, so you can see they're their own country there, if I sort by colours. So down here you've got your active wars. I'm not sure where this one is. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's down here as well. Someone else trying to declare independence next to Switzerland. So you'll probably find the Roman Empire just stick one huge army down here and stomp all of them. Here it comes. So it's currently laying siege in here. But I'm not going to worry about that. So this is one of the events that comes up. Depending which you pick, you gain a trait. So if I decide to hire some bodyguards, my character gets paranoid. And well, there's a percentage chance. It's quite low actually, 20%. And if I leave it, then she gets trusting. I think I'm going to go for trusting. But I didn't seem to get the trait, so... So this is our chaplain down here talking to the Pope, basically saying he's messed up and we've lost some opinion with the Pope. So hopefully he'll win that back later. That's my wooden palisade finished. The castle. So let's see what we want now. I'll put a castle village in and I'll get some extra tax. I think I might go look at the city, the market in for the same reason. So as you can see, as a duke or a count, there's not a lot that happens in the early portion of the game. If you're a king, you'd be busy waging war on the surrounding towns or trying to crush rebellions like this. But it's a bit easier if you start on as a count or a duke, just because there's less to do, so you can get to grips with the game. So I still haven't sorted out the heir to the dynasty. There's not much you can do other than get a husband and hope that these two start making babies. So you can see the Empire sent an army down to bring Switzerland back into the fold. There's another event, so we can release the hedge knight, gain some piety. But the bishop won't be very happy with us. Or the bishop can gain prestige for finding him, but we lose some for locking him up. So I think I'll gain some piety and just lose something with the bishop. Looks like he's heading my way. Oh no, So if we look here, the Emperor's raised some of troops out of my provinces. So, as I was mentioned earlier, sorry, let's get this one out of the way. The chaplain guy down here talking to the popes made up for his mistake earlier, got some popularity back. But yeah, the Emperor's raised some troops in my province to fight these guys that shown up. So I can do the same. I'll do it here. So if I raise my county levies, you can see I added an army to there. So some of these will be under my control and some won't. Misclick there. So if you have a look at the fight, it's treated as 3 sections. You've got your middle of your army and then your left and your right flank. So initially they all face off against their counterpart. But so for example this one's got 127 troops, whereas this one's only got 33, so it's likely this one will win. What happens then is it comes down to the general, because he picks a tactic. You don't get to choose these, he gets to pick these, and the higher his ability is, the more likely he is to pick a decent tactic. So what he could do is chase down these guys as they run away and basically do nothing useful for the rest of the battle. Or a good leader would then redirect himself to fight the middle. So he'd basically be charging these guys in the side to help their own middle out. So if we slow the speed down a bit, we can probably watch this one. So at the moment they're at archery range, and this guy's retreating, this guy's chasing him. And you see this guy's redirected to help. This flank's getting battered and running away, so they're now fighting each other with these guys in support. And they're now running away, so they're giving chase. This should end shortly. There might be a few survivors. So yeah, 37 survivors. As you can see, running away. And I'm going to dismiss my counter leaders again. Because they're not in my territory anymore. They haven't got enough to siege anything. So I'm not really concerned. This army here with the empires will deal with it. So, if we have a look at this, the Swiss Empire's failed in its attempt to get independence. The Empire's brought them back into the fold and the borders have rejoined up again. So, you can see the leader's now in prison for trying to rebel. His heir's not, however, so he'll probably just inherit it if this guy dies in jail. That's us making friends with the Pope a bit more. So this is a new person arriving in my court, which means I can then use him. You know, I could make him any member of my council if I wanted, or marry him to somebody. It just basically means he's there for my disposal. What was I going to look at? I can't remember. I was going to do something. That was it. I was going to continue building up this castle. Get some more troops out of it. So heavy infantry and pikemen. I'll put some guard quarters in there. I'll do the same with this one here. So I now have the option of reading a book or going out hunting with the new falcon that's arrived. I'll try the falcon. So there you go. The hunt went well, so she gets the aspiring falconer trait. This one's only a temporary trait, it expires after a certain amount of time, but it gives me a boost to diplomacy. So I can either gain the trait Falconer, or I can have some prestige. I think I'll gain the trait, and then I can show you where that comes up. So over here, one of these, there, should be Falconer, which gives us +1 to diplomacy. So she's also charismatic negotiator, diligent, patient, a bit zealous, and charitable. So there's not many negatives there, as opposed to the husband, who is greedy, paranoid, a bit of a temper on him. And this one's a bit dangerous. He's a manipulator and web weaver. Probably should keep an eye on that. But that's what your spy master's paid to do. So what I might do is try and improve my relations with him a bit, giving him an honorary title. So he's now the cupbearer. That gives 15 opinion with him. Makes him a bit happier. You can also see he wants to get married. So let's find him a wife. Keep him happy as well. So let's see. She wants to get married. Scholar. Yeah, she'll do. So that's a yes as well. No alliance made from it. So a lot of this is very Games of Thrones-esque, in that you can, if I show you, you can assassinate or imprison people, you can do plots behind their backs and get other people in on them. I know one of the other things where you're the Byzantines, you end up as the brother of the king, and when the king dies of old age you take over, but you've got a third younger brother. If you don't keep him under control and try and win over a lot of his friends, he just rebels half the empire against you, and you end up in a massive civil war whilst the Muslims just rampage through the eastern side of your kingdom and wipe everything out. So you've got to keep an eye on a lot of things as you go up through the ranks, which is why, again, playing at the lower level of Count and Duke is probably that little bit easier. So that's my guard quarters finished. Another event. So I imprisoned somebody who was talking crap about the church, and the mayor says, "Good job." So we gained some reputation with him. Let's get some cavalry. And in here I'll just get some levy size increasements out of the town. So I've only got 2 gold now, so I have to keep an eye on that. But fortunately we got positive. So there we go, the other guy fighting for independence, he's also lost. He's now also in jail. Somebody else has been released from the prison. What's this? Vassal inheritance warning. So the heir of Lucca, which is one of my vassals, is passing to somebody else. So let's find him a wife. Maybe. Oh no, he's a priest, isn't he? So we can't do that. Okay, there's not much I can do about that then, I don't think. Unless I can maybe... Let's see. Oh no, he's got an heir, so I don't know what that's on about. Yeah, I'm confused there. Never mind. I won't worry about it. Ah, so here we go. The what's he called? Chancellor that I've sent in here to make up a claim has succeeded. So I can now press the claim. It costs some money and some prestige, but go for it. So now because I've pressed that claim, all of these are pretty unhappy with me. So I need to build up some money, because then what I can do is, as well as raising my own troops, I can hire some mercenaries. Let's see. It's 60 to hire them initially, and then 6 a month monthly cost. So I can afford the monthly balance once I get the initial money. But I probably want to sort of get a safety buffer in case they do attack and I lose some of my income. So we'll just wait this one out for a little bit. One key thing to note is you can't declare war on somebody if you've raised your own troops, but you can if you've got mercenaries out. Ah, the Spy Master appears to have died. So we'd better replace him. So this guy's got very high intrigue. It's my husband, which is a bit worrying as he's got all these nasty traits on him. This guy's got syphilis, he's probably not a good bet either. This one's also rather worrying, as that's your mother. I guess who's going to look after you better than your mother when you're the only child? And she wants to become Spy Master anyway. We'll go for that. And set it to uncover plots, just in case the husband decides to do something silly. See, now the husband's complaining, so he can lump it. So apparently I now have a claim I can lay on Genoa. I'm not exactly sure how. So the Emperor's waging war in multiple fronts now, it seems. Ah, it looks like a huge area here is declared independence. Could be interesting. Might be a good time for me to try and strike on these guys next to me while this lot are busy. But then if an army comes up here, I don't want to have to fight that at the same time. We got a... No, they got brought back into the fold pretty rapidly. They were trying to declare independence. So Genoa's got two towns, a castle. I've got a... Oh no, I don't have a claim there anymore. Or do I? Yes I do. Okay, let's give that a try. Diplomacy, declare war, claim Genoa. Ah, my count down here has a claim on it, that's how I can claim it. So, bring the speed right down for a start. So, we've declared war here. So, the first thing to do, raise the troops. We just have to watch all these other armies marching around. Although what I think I'll do is I will dismiss these ones and this one. As they're on the border with these guys, and if they decide they want to attack, I don't want to get caught out. So let's get those mercenaries I was talking about. Now then, which ones do we want? These ones come with cavalry, these ones have more heavy infantry. I will go with the Catalans because of those cavalry. as you can see, they appear in your main region. We'll just send them down there to kick Genoa's arse. My usual strategy is the majority of the fighting is carried out by the mercenaries, and my own troops generally bring up the rear to siege the places, because that way the losses incurred are mainly on the mercenaries, which I just dismiss later, and not my own troops. We've got 2 armies here, we can merge them together. Send them up there. Seems my marshal has died. Council members don't seem to live very long in my place. Oh, he seems like a good enough leader. I'll stick him in. Train some troops in there. This army didn't come with it. So if we now look at this fight, if it lets me click it, yeah, there it is. So as you can see, the mercenaries don't have any flanking units, but they do just have extreme numbers. So it shouldn't be a problem. And it's a complete slaughter. So if we now look at this screen, we can see we're now sieging. So the defenders lose a certain amount of morale each day, and that'll be on this town here, and then you have to siege this castle, this church, and this other town to fully capture the region. They can sally forth, but in terms of these numbers, it's not going to make much difference. We'll send them in there. Now they've shown up, I will march these guys over into Nice, try and capture that at the same time. So basically what you've got to do is you've got to force the percentage down here. So this will be the Tuscan War, this one. So you've got to try and force this war score up. So it goes up by battles and up by occupying. I think occupation drives it in a monthly amount, so this would go up each month as opposed to just a flat rate off the battles. So the more I can destroy their economy and just fight them in general, the quicker they'll surrender and generally give me the province. So as you can see, this lot have sidestepped my army and are heading up here, which is why I left troops up here. Checking what's them against them. See, they've rethought their plan a little bit. Now, this little symbol here is worth noting. This means you don't have enough people in your attacking force to siege the defenders. See? So I need to raise some more troops out of here and here. Ship them over. I'll cover the troops a little bit. So you've got, these are your troops which you can raise, and you can keep those up as long as you like. If you start taking troops off your vassals though, if you have them out for too long, they start getting very unhappy about it. So the 2 I've just raised here I'm going to need to watch, because I don't want them out there for too long, otherwise I'll lose popularity with these two. Even though I'm fighting the war for them, but you know, they're all greedy. So here we go. Here's an offer of peace from them. So over here I've currently sieged one successfully, with 2 left to go. And here, 1 with 3 left to go. So what's he offering? So he's offering to give us 100 opinion, so he loves us. We get 100 prestige. And the city of Genoa goes to our vassal. And then I believe Nice would come under our control as a vassal. I think we'll accept that. So if we can dismiss our soldiers back again now. I do find that's a bit cheating. You can dismiss them here and then instantly raise them again and they're backing their home counties, but you know, never mind. Just bump that a bit to fight those guys. So if we bring my mercenaries back, we'll press our claim here next. Still getting a positive balance. Right. We declare war on them. We're going to piss off all of these, but they seem to have bigger troubles. Slow this down a few, see what happens. Send them in there. So we're laying siege. These guys don't seem to care. So we successfully killed the first garrison. Now we've got 2 left to work on. Looks like these guys are trying to siege us. So we'll raise some troops in the neighbouring counties. So what's this? The church is trying to collect money off the peasants. Chance of a revolt. Don't really want that while I'm at war, so I'll just lose opinion with the bishop. vassal levies lays too long. This is what I was saying. The troops have been out too much. I only lost one happiness from them so far, so I'll just mix those back down again. And then this guy's offering peace. And they're proposing we gain the county, which we will accept, as that's what we wanted all along. I think what I'll do now is have this guy start fabricating claims down here in Nice, just to try and cement the Empire's control of this coastline. And the other thing I'm going to do is dismiss my mercenaries. This is nothing to fight, they just cost him money. And upgrade what I've got. Somebody else in my castle? Council? Yep, he seems to have died. So what's this guy got? Yep, he doesn't seem like a good person to be having in there. He's ill, definitely don't want him. Deceitful. Excellent. Everyone in my court is terrible. Infirm, they're all just ill or dying. So let's see, can I bring someone to court? Here we go. So I'll spend some gold and see who just shown up. Okay, this was the guy we just hired, I think. He's brave. He's ugly. It's just unfortunate. We'll put him in there though. So this is just our marshal saying he's recruiting lots of troops. We've got a reinforcement bonus for a while. Let's have a look at the world map. So let's see, Norway now owns England. So this is about the time period of the Battle of Hastings. So it looks like the English didn't defeat the Norwegians when they landed up here. And William the Conqueror didn't bother to come invade either. Spain's... Yep, looks like the Christian kingdoms are busy beating each other to senseless as opposed to trying to unite. Ireland's doing exactly the same. They're all too busy drinking Guinness to bother to get it together. Iceland's now owned by Norway. Byzantine Empire seems to be holding its own. You've got the various Arabian tribes down here. Not changed much since the start. So, imprisoning pagans again. These guys are still trying to declare independence, fighting over it. Oh, the Pope's changed. Got a different Pope installed now. He likes us, that's always a good thing. Now, the forest isn't big enough, so we either make the barons happy or make the church happy. I'll be more inclined to make the mayor happy, seeing as he pays more in taxes than the other guy, and I like my money. Especially when I'm upgrading castles like this. The Emperor's imprisoning more people again. And that's that rebellion over. Church trying to collect more money again. Somehow you can see though my piety is quite high, despite me shunning the church at every opportunity. Okay, so this is the various mayors saying they can't pay their taxes. But because I have a high diplomacy rating, I get this bottom option, whereby I don't lose money, they don't complain because I'm charging them, and I don't have to change the tax rate. So I get off lucky with that one. He's looking more and more like Emperor Palpatine every day. He's also failing to give me any children. So maybe what we'll do here is have an intrigue plot. Let's see. I want to kill the Duke. So now you can see the plot power is 25%. We need to get that up for these to unlock and have a chance of being successful. Good place to start, so we should Spy Master, which in this case is my mother. So invite to plot. She doesn't want to. She seems to like him more than she likes me. Okay, that's probably a bad plan. She might find out what I'm up to. He doesn't like the Duke at all. I can actually get a positive modifier for his dislike of the Duke. So we'll get him involved. Who else do we have? The court chaplain. Let's see if he's interested. He doesn't dislike the Duke, but he likes me more, so we'll get him in there. Let's try the Marshal. But first I'm going to arrange him a marriage, so he's happy. So they get married. No. Okay, I don't seem to be able to involve him. Oh no, there we go. I just found it now. Yep, he dislikes the Duke as well. Him in on it. As you can see, we now got 54% plot power. So we have this bottom option, which isn't great in terms of percentages of it succeeding. So let's see, who else can we put in? Looks like he'll have a good impact on it. Let's arrange him a marriage. Past childbearing age. Oh, she's 46, that'd be why. Whoever likes her, so we'll send that out. Let's get him involved. Who else can we get? Another 10% of that. So I just need to get this plot power up to 100% to have the best chance of it succeeding. See, is there anyone else I can add? Really, I want her. That percentage is high, but none of these are interested. %. I need to get 15% from somewhere. He wants to get married. Let's see if I can win him round. He just doesn't think enough of me. I can probably pull this one off. He's 46. She's 46. Not interested. She's 16. That's a bit freaky, but whatever. Okay, he's still not happy with us, so we'll send him a gift. Ah, now he's in for it. Oh, no. Okay, I need one more person. That cover it? Maybe. Yeah, so we're now at 100%. So there's a 90% chance he dies, and a 10% chance I'm discovered. Let's give this a go. Down he goes. Backstabbed. Nothing like political intrigue. Now I need to pick a new ambition. Let's get married again. Now I need to find someone for her to marry. So, who do we have? Who's his heir? He's Marshall. He's 44, so that should be fine. He's happy to marry. I lose some prestige for it, but I got enough to cope with that. Hopefully this guy's a little more promiscuous than the last one. Do I have any claims? I can claim Spoleto, but I'm not sure I want to try and fight the Pope, really. So we'll ignore that. So unfortunately guys, I'm going to have to call that there. Again, this game's out on Tuesday. Hopefully some of you will get it. Or failing that, I intend to do a whole series where I attempt to unite Ireland in a Guinness-fueled frenzy and then go about conquering the rest of the British Isles. Which may end up working, or I may just get utterly crushed by crazy Irish people. So wait and see how that goes.